One. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the special simulcast of the Neil Haley Show and the Mina Valentin Show with our host, Mina Valentin. Hi, Mina.
Hi, everybody. Hi, you, Neil. How you
Uh,
doing?
Good. What is our topic for today?
I want to talk about communication during the Georgian era. Today, we have texting, we have cell phones, we can even do voice recordings like voicemail. You can send a voice message to somebody on text today. So that I'm from Texas. So I know people there. And then a lot of my friends from way back when, they've spread out. I can send them a text, I can pick up the phone and call them. So we're always connected somehow. How did they do those kind of things during the Georgian era? There weren't telephones, there was no texting, there was no computers, so you didn't have email. They did several different kinds of communicating. They, if I wanted to see you, I would have to travel pretty far if I didn't live in the London area. And that could take days to a week. So when you got to where you wanted to be, you stayed a long time, month, 2 months. And they sat around after they ate breakfast, lunch, or dinner. They shopped together. But when they were at home, they read books to each other. They had little sewing groups where they would chat while they sewed. And I'm talking about the women. And then they sang. Parents from affluent families wanted their daughters to learn to play an instrument, typically the piano, but it could be a harp, any kind of musical instrument is what they would want them to learn because they could entertain people in their homes. So that was an excellent skill to have. They would play cards, but they most of the time when they were playing cards, it was an excuse to sit down together and chat. They the thing that has impressed me, and one thing that makes me sad that we don't do probably at all anymore, is they would write to each other. And I think when you write a letter to someone, you are expressing a feeling or an emotion on paper that you can communicate to the reader and let them know exactly how you feel. And it's so much more intimate when it's in cursive, um, and you can express yourself. There were a lot of love letters written. And I think I'm trying to remember, it was one of the early presidents, but it was either Washington, but I can't hardly believe that because his wife. And then the other one was Thomas Jefferson. But there were early presidents that they still have love letters that they wrote to their wives. And I think it's romantic. And a man could do that today, could write a letter. And for Valentine's Day, I'd much rather get a love letter than a card. You know, it would be, it's intimate. Like I said, it's intimate. Um, Women would write each other and talk about what they'd been doing, how they were, how the family was. Uh, but the fact that they had any kind of distance between them at all limited that physical connection. Um, like I said, if they were in northern England and the other person was in London, they might not see them for a couple of years easily. Yeah. So today we kind of take it for granted. And I think it's sad about the phones, the texting.
People don't call anymore.
Yeah, have you? No, they don't. And kids don't want to talk to you on the phone. They want to text.
But that you're never going to really know what's happening if you're just texting. Texting's a great way of communication, but having a phone call or in person is really going to truly know that true feelings of that person and what's happening.
That's
And
right.
they don't want that.
I know, and that's sad. It really is sad to me. I think, have you been out to a restaurant, or it couldn't be, I mean, it could be a fast food restaurant or a upscale, and they have their kids with them, and each one of them is on their phone. Well, why did you all go out together? If you're not going to communicate with the person that's sitting right across from you.
So Mina, here's the problem. We're sounding exactly like our parents.
You think? Because
Yeah. Well, there's nothing different. They've not changed that much. This is the point. I know they're weird, but everyone thought Gen X was weird. You probably thought Gen X was weird as well.
yeah,
And now we're mature. We don't
yeah.
age.
But
But the boomers will never be around. They're going to be around forever. And when people talked about the boomers, especially our generation, we were wrong. So what I'm saying is that everybody talks about the
oh
older
yeah,
generation to them and the younger generation to them.
yes, and that's always going to be the case. However, there's never been in the history of civilization, there's never been such a diverse way of connecting.
That's true. But can you imagine the next thing? I mean, literally, I was talking to AI today. It was managing my whole system, going through all my files, doing everything for me. I have agents going and doing tasks for me on a regular basis, checking my email. If we would have said this 10 years ago, we would thought when I couldn't stand just emailing somebody, and this is where we're at today. So there you go.
That's fun.
That's my there you go.
Well, a friend of mine, he and I had been friends since I was about 10 or 11 years old. And he went to Vietnam. He was a forward observer. Their life expectancy was a couple of hours. He contracted malaria, and he was wounded. He and I wrote letters to each other during that period of time. And then I didn't see him for a couple of decades. When I went home, he looked me up, and I kept his letters. And the reason why I kept them wasn't so that I could read them, because it never said anything about me in the letter. It always you talk about yourself, right? And so I kept all those letters with every intention of giving them all back to him so that he could read and remember what was happening in Vietnam during the time that he was writing those letters. And he was so excited and impressed that I had kept them all those years. And I think because of the time frame between the time that he wrote them and the time that he got them from me, there's so many things that had changed in his life that it was a record of his life events during that time. I just think that's cool.
Right. I mean, the communication is done. And I still think the communicate wait till we see that no one can text anymore. All
Yeah.
they do is have AI text for them.
Oh, that's
They have no idea what's going on
that
back and
that
forth.
you can do that now. The next big thing I'd like to see is teleporting. Oh,
I cannot wait till we teleport. I'm going to be the first person to create a time machine. I'm ready to invest with a company right now for a time machine and
oh,
teleporting time machines. And then lastly, never dying.
Oh, that would be nice because and here's the thing. If anybody out there knows a vampire, would you get them to call me? I'll donate a little blood. You can bite me, and that way I can see what's going to happen in the future. I would love to do that. Did you ever see The Highlander, the movie The Highlander?
The Highlander?
Uh huh. The movie.
The movie The Highlander? No, I have not.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. And he, there's a group of people, and I guess they came out of different areas of the world, but it got down to a few, and they lived forever. And so when this girl meets him, she goes into he has an antique shop, and he bought all these things from the 1500s, 1600s.
Right.
Then he's right downtown New York selling all this stuff. I mean, it's worth a fortune, but he just collected it.
All right.
It's so cool. I could,
Well, so go to minavalentine.com, purchase her book, get
yeah.
a and check out the new website.
If you
Tell
want
us what we think. Yeah.
see, since we can't teleport, I write about that era and with unique accuracy about what's going on, what they ate, where they lived, what they did. So yeah, it's reading a good historical romance novel is a substitute for
Uh,
teleport.
all right. All right. MinaValentine.com. That was a special simulcast of the Neil Haley Show and the Mina Valentine Show, guys. Take care.